Have you ever felt like your emotions take control and make you act impulsively? What if I told you that Stoic philosophers already discovered how to stay calm in any situation, no matter how difficult it is? Today, we're going to reveal the secrets they use to master their emotions and live in peace. Stoicism, one of the most influential philosophical schools in ancient Greece and Rome, focuses not only on wisdom but also on emotional control. For Stoics, mastering emotions wasn't about suppressing them, but understanding them and learning how to manage them so as not to be enslaved by them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest representatives of Stoicism and Emperor of Rome, spoke about how emotional control was key to his leadership. Today, we will explore how you can apply these principles to transform your relationship with your emotions, from anger to fear. Principle 1. Internal versus external control. One of the foundations of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. Emotions, though a natural reaction, can be managed when we understand that many of them are triggered by external factors beyond our control. Epictetus said that it is not events that disturb us, but our opinions about them. This Stoic approach is key to managing emotions. When you recognize that something is outside your control, you can avoid the frustration and anguish that come from trying to change the unchangeable. What happens around us doesn't have to define our inner peace. The Stoic trains to discern what is within their power and, in adverse situations, directs their energy toward their own behavior and reactions. For example, if someone insults you, your first reaction might be anger, but Stoicism teaches that you should pause, analyze whether it's worth reacting, and then act rationally. The ability to choose how to respond to a situation, rather than reacting impulsively, is what allows for emotional mastery. The next time you feel a negative emotion, pause and ask yourself, is this under my control? If the answer is no, free yourself from the weight of that emotion and move on without letting it affect your well-being. Principle 2. The practice of Prosoché, mindfulness. Prosoché is the Stoic practice of mindfulness in the present moment. This concept invites you to focus your mind on the here and now, freeing yourself from worries about what might happen in the future or regrets about what has already passed. Seneca reminds us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Many of our negative emotions, like anxiety and fear, are not based on facts but on interpretations or assumptions about future events. Practicing Prosoché involves being fully present in the current moment, eliminating distractions that come from anticipations or memories. When you feel overwhelmed by work or life stress, focus on what you can do in the present. Concentrate on the tasks of the day and forget about catastrophic future scenarios. This practice requires discipline, but the Stoics firmly believed that being in control of our mind and emotions in the present is what allows us to live in serenity. Practice Stoic meditation every morning. Spend a few minutes reflecting on what you can control today and how you can remain calm in the face of whatever comes. Principle 3. Negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Negative visualization is a Stoic technique that involves anticipating problems before they happen. Although it may seem pessimistic, it is actually meant to strengthen the mind. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, you visualize yourself facing those difficulties with calmness and rationality. This mental exercise prepares you for the worst possible scenarios, so if they do occur, you will have already developed the emotional resilience to handle them. Marcus Aurelius practiced this regularly. Before starting his day, he imagined all the problems that could arise: tense meetings, difficult decisions, unexpected challenges. That way, when they happened, he was already mentally prepared to face them. If you're facing an exam, a job interview, or an uncomfortable conversation, visualize how those situations could go wrong and how you could respond in a controlled and rational manner. This approach reduces the emotional impact because nothing takes you by surprise. Make a daily practice of visualizing what could go wrong in your day, but always focus on how you would respond calmly. Principle 4. Memento Mori, remember death. Remembering the inevitability of death might seem grim, but for the Stoics, it is a source of strength and clarity. By acknowledging our mortality, we learn not to cling so tightly to fleeting emotions or worldly problems. Anger, resentment, or fear lose significance when we understand that life is short and our time is valuable. Seneca reminded us that life is brief, and we must live it with virtue and purpose. Memento Mori forces us to ask ourselves whether our current worries truly matter in the long run. By remembering that our time is limited, we can focus our emotions on what truly matters. If you find yourself caught in an argument or feeling frustrated, ask yourself, does this really matter in the grand scheme of life? Use the concept of Memento Mori to put your problems into perspective and detach emotionally from trivial concerns. This reminder of life's finitude frees you to focus on what truly holds value: virtue, wisdom, and meaningful relationships. Principle 5. Amor, Fati, love your fate. The final key principle for mastering your emotions is Amor, Fati, which means to accept and love everything that happens, both good and bad. For the Stoics, everything that occurs in life has a purpose, and our task is to accept and embrace it with gratitude. It's not just about resigning to the inevitable, but finding value in every experience, even the painful or difficult ones. Friedrich Nietzsche popularized this concept, but the Stoics practiced it long before. Everything that happens for a reason, and our job is to accept it gracefully. If you lose a job, instead of succumbing to despair, ask yourself, how can I use this situation to grow? By adopting Amor, Fati, even adversities become opportunities for improvement and personal evolution. If something goes wrong, see it as a chance to learn and get better. By accepting life as it is, with all its highs and lows, you free yourself from emotional suffering and allow yourself to live more fully. Principle 6. The power of self-mastery, enkrateia. Self-mastery, known by the Stoics as enkrateia, is the ability to maintain control over oneself, especially in situations that could lead to losing one's composure. The Stoic trains in discipline to avoid excesses and uncontrolled reactions. The key here is moderation. The Stoics believed that neither pleasure nor pain should dictate our actions. Instead, we must act according to reason. When you face a situation where your impulses push you to react, remember that you have the ability to choose a response aligned with your values, not with your emotions. Principle 7. Ataraxia, imperturbability. Ataraxia is the state of mental and emotional tranquility that Stoics sought to achieve. It is the imperturbability in the face of life's ups and downs. It's not about being indifferent, but rather about not allowing external events to disturb you internally. By cultivating a calm mind, you can face adverse circumstances with greater clarity and composure. The practice of daily meditation and focusing on what you can control contributes to developing this serenity. Accept that not everything in life will be easy, but you can maintain inner peace in the face of any challenge. Principle 8. The rejection of external approval. The Stoics taught that depending on the approval of others is an emotional trap. It is natural to want to be liked, but when our emotions are tied to the judgment of others, we lose control over ourselves. The Stoic doesn't seek external approval but acts in accordance with their principles and virtues. If you feel discouraged by criticism or lack of recognition, remember that your worth is not determined by others' opinions, but by your own actions and integrity. Principle 9. Inner strength, Andreia. Stoic strength, or Andreia, refers not only to physical endurance but also to the mental and emotional fortitude to face adversity. It is the ability to maintain composure in the face of difficulties, staying focused on what is just and necessary. The Stoics understood that life is full of obstacles, but true strength lies in confronting them with dignity and perseverance. Developing this inner strength allows you to endure pain, frustration, or despair without losing perspective. Principle 10. Daily self-review, the epilogue of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics believed in daily self-reflection as a key tool for continuous improvement. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, practiced this exercise every night, reflecting on his actions and thoughts during the day. This review was not for self-punishment but to learn from mistakes and reinforce virtuous behaviors. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on how you managed your emotions. Ask yourself if you acted according to your Stoic principles or if you were carried away by negative impulses. The key is to learn and improve, little by little, every day. Mastering our emotions is one of the greatest challenges we face in life, but with the wisdom of the Stoics, we can learn to see them for what they are, signals we can control and use to improve. The next time you feel anger, anxiety, or frustration, remember that you have the power to decide how to respond. With these principles, you can live a calmer and more fulfilling life. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning how to apply Stoicism and other ancient philosophies to your daily life, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Leave a comment on how you plan to apply these principles to master your emotions. See you in the next video.